there's Adam and Eve and the first couple, and Cain has said, no, don't send me out there because they're going to get me if I go out there. Now he actually has God believing there's somebody out there. Because God said, okay, I'll put a mark on you so that anyone out there finding you won't kill you. What are you talking about? People outside the garden? Yes. Hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people. This was an experiment. And when I say people, I'm talking about the ancient hominids, the Neanderthal creatures, the ones that we know of that are referred to in science as the hominid creatures. They travel in huge families, hundreds of them in any family. And of course, in my mind, it's like Cain is saying, don't send me into the prison. Don't send me out there with all the grown men, just a teenager, you know. I'm a sitting duck. Don't send me out there. I'll be killed. And so God says, no, I know. You've got a problem. I'll take care of it and put a mark on you so they won't harm you. The implication is overwhelming that even the Bible infers that before Adam and Eve, there are other creatures already on the earth, other humans on the earth. Here Cain does not, and as I said, I just made the point, God tells him no, he's not going to allow anybody to hurt him. Where were these people that Cain was concerned about? The question is, who are these people that Cain ultimately goes out into a place called Nod? And that's not the place where Art Bell does his radio show, but this is in the Bible. And in the land of Nod, we find hominids, hominid creatures, pre-Adamic man. All you have to do is go on the web or go to the library and just look up the word pre-Adamic man, before Adam. Pre-Adamic man, there are tons of reference works on the ancient and prehistoric civilizations of humans that from Atlantis all the way back to Lemuria, back into the most pre-history of the human race. Probably hundreds of thousands. And if Michael Cremo is right, billions of years ago. Michael Cremo is an extraordinary, with his friend, extraordinary researchers into the ancient past of the human family on Earth. And Michael Cremo's work is voluminous work. And it is astoundingly brilliantly presented, showing that the human race has been on this earth for billions, with a B, billions of years. And that thousands upon thousands of ancient civilizations have existed in the pre-Adamic period that the Bible is talking about. All I'm asking is, who are these pre-Adamic ancient civilizations that had high technology that we're only beginning to see and find in the oceans and find at the pyramids of Giza and all of these ancient temples around the world? Again, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. We understand now the basis for that. We need to remember too, at this point it's important to remember there's a very big difference between an angel and the watchers. In the Bible there's certain creatures, the creatures are referred to in the Bible as the watchers. We're told that the watchers do only one thing, they watch you. Period. That's all they're to do, is to watch and monitor you, your entire life. I'm assuming your very heartbeat. Everything is known about you. The watchers are watching us. They seem to be some kind of sentries from what the Bible indicates that are watching us and making sure that whoever and whatever is the ultimate authority in the universe knows about us every moment of the day. They're called the watchers. But there is also those things which are called angels. And angels are not disembodied spirits. That's a different kind of an angel. There are certain angels the Bible implies, and other ancient reference work imply, angels that were created spirit entities and have never been in human form. They were created as spirits, and they still are spirits. And yet there is also in the scriptures of many ancient peoples, including the Bible, the idea that there are disembodied spirits, humans which have died, but their spirits live on. So they're called disembodied spirits. So now you have disembodied spirits, humans who have died, but their spirit lives on. Then you have other spirits who have never been human. They were created spirits. And then you have the watchers, whoever they are, but they're watching us. And then you have something which I now want to talk about in the scriptures called the sons of God. The sons of God is a whole new subject. Genesis 1, it says, God who maketh his angels spirits. So the point I'm making here is that the particular words angels is referring to entities which are pure spirit. But in Genesis 6:1, we come across some very interesting scripture. In Genesis 6:1 it says, and it came to pass, and listen to this, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell are you talking about? Men who began to multiply and children were born unto them? And where were the women at this time? I don't know how men could have children without women. All right. But then it goes on to say in chapter 6:2 that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all whom they chose. In all of the ancient scriptures of the world, not just the Bible, but in the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Rig Veda, all of the ancient scriptures in the ancient East, all of the ancient scriptures that we know of, all talk about the fact that there has been on this earth alien life forms. Christianity and Judaism calls them angels, or sons of God. I don't care what you call them, but all ancient scriptures talks about the fact that there were ancient civilizations that were cohabiting with us and our women and having sexual connections with human creatures. So, the scripture says in Genesis that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. Here we see the sons of God are not angels and spirits. We're told that they were attracted to the daughters of men and took the women for wives. And another point, going to Genesis 6:4. And there were giants in the earth in those days. And after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. Well, the actual word translated in the Bible, children, is a Hebrew word that does not mean children. It means offspring of some kind. Well, yeah, if aliens are crossbreeding with humans, they're not going to be the normal kind of children. I don't know what they're going to be. They may be the reptium. But again, Genesis 6:4, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, these are the same who became mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. Zechariah Sitchin talks about these mighty men of old, who were the offspring of the gods with human women. In Genesis 18, an interesting story in Genesis 18 about the sons of God, these alien life forms who looked like us and said, come, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Well, in Genesis 18 we're reading, and the Lord said, Lord appeared to Abraham. If you'll remember, Abraham and Sarah were approached in the Bible story in Genesis 18 by three men who come walking up into their camp. I want to read just a quick part of this. In Genesis 18 in the Bible, Old Testament, it says, and the Lord appeared unto him, Abraham, and in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent in the heat of the day, Abraham did, And Abraham, he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo,